What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and take a look at this article that just came out. Cash in. 10 cities and states are going to be offering universal basic income worth up to $12,000. Are you eligible? And I'm going to be sharing with you all these 10 locations, states and cities, where you're going to be getting reoccurring monthly checks if you're eligible. And this is your stimulus check update. Now, you guys, we're hearing this is unfolding as we're also having a lot of people questioning, will Omicron surge bring stimulus checks back to the table in 2022? And a lot of people are saying we need a fourth check right now with the way that everything is happening because Omicron is raging. And as you know, stimulus is a result of the pandemic. So whether or not there's going to be more stimulus provisions is contingent upon the state of the pandemic. And take a look at where we're at right now, you guys. Here is the chart. You can see we are skyrocketing right now. New cases yesterday, 443,000, and the 7-day moving average is at 714,000 per day. This is spreading like wildfire. We're seeing the airports have to shut down due to all the workers being sick. Hospitals are becoming overwhelmed. People can't even get testing kits to find out if they're sick or not with the Omicron variant because there's a shortage because so many people are getting sick at the same time. And we're seeing negative impacts on our economy, and people are starting to question, do we need more stimulus provisions and more checks? Well, you guys, yesterday we heard from the president who said yes. Take a look at this. Biden is planning to ask Congress for more money to tackle the pandemic as the Omicron rages on. And right now, he said his focus is going to be on getting out more tests, more vaccines, more things to battle the pandemic. Now, this is actually the second new phase due to Omicron. Take a look, you guys. The first phase, lawmakers are talking about another stimulus round for businesses. So we already have two new phases of stimulus that we're hearing are likely going to be coming in the coming weeks here. And also, just to clarify, this is first for businesses, then for battling the pandemic, and we will see, as we heard from White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, lawmakers are also taking into consideration what is going to be the best way to help out people at home during this pandemic. And we will see, I will keep you up to date if direct payments, aka stimulus checks, are going to be put back on the table. As people are asking, take a look. Just 2 days ago, talks reopening for fourth stimulus checks. Now, just to clarify, a fourth stimulus check is going to be referring to on a federal level for everybody in the entire nation. However, what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video is 10 different cities and states on smaller levels where they're going to be sending out checks. So if you've already gotten the first 3 stimulus checks, and even if there's a fourth one, you can also get these ones because these are on different levels for people that are eligible. So we're going to dive right in, get you caught up on the latest. And also, you guys, just wanted to share with you that the new channel has officially launched and I got the first video up. Thank you for all the support. If you already seen it, that is awesome. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. I hope it's a blessing to you. I share with you some advice that I received from a multimillionaire years ago when I was totally broke and decided that I want to become financially free. And he said, I will share with you the secret to becoming financially free. You need to focus on 3 things. And if you do, you will also become financially free. And I listened to him, did what he told me to do, and it actually worked. And I hope that it's going to be a blessing to people that see it. If people are interested, I'll put a link down below. You can click it, go watch the video, subscribe. I'm going to be uploading more videos on that channel here very soon as well. But you guys, right now, let's get you caught up on this channel with stimulus and economic news. And let's start off by smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Just takes a second, really helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free. You can join the Ram fam. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is hop onto Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, let's dive into this article and let you know about these 10 locations giving out universal basic income, aka monthly stimulus checks. All right, you guys, so link in the description below if you'd like to read this article for yourself. Just came out a couple days ago from The Sun, and it says, cash in. 10 cities and states are offering universal basic income worth up to $12,000. Are you eligible? And it says a total of 10 cities and states are creating universal basic income programs, which could be worth up to $12,000. Now, just to clarify, that's going to be over the course of a year or 2 years. Now, the move comes as pandemic stimulus payments dry up, and they're talking about those previous 3 stimulus checks. And it is looking unlikely that a fourth payment will be forthcoming. Now, just to clarify, that that is the opinion of this author. We will see. I will keep you up to date. You never know with Congress. It's all contingent upon the state of the pandemic. And right now, we're seeing members of Congress and the president calling for more phases of stimulus. And we will see. Now, the article says, while universal basic income isn't the same as a stimulus check, the UBI programs give residents who are eligible reoccurring payments over a certain period of time, which could be every month, several times a year, or just annually. And here is where they're being offered. Now, this first one is Alaska. Now, just to clarify, this one, I don't really think this should count. This is kind of an old program. It's not new due to the pandemic, but take a listen just in case you're in Alaska and you haven't heard of this. For a while now, Alaska has been giving out citizens checks under the Alaska Permanent Fund, and it says the sovereign wealth funds pay out annual dividends to eligible citizens. To qualify, you must be an Alaskan resident for at least a year, but you're not eligible if you've been convicted of state felonies or jailed. This year's payment went out to 643,000 Alaskans, totaling $1,114 per person. The highest payout occurred back in 2008 when payments were $2,069. Wow. So like I said, that one is not a new one. I'm not really sure if that qualifies as stimulus. Now, this next one does. Take a look at this. Pittsburgh plans to use some of their pandemic funds to give relief to 200 households that are low earning. Specifically, those households will get $500 per month in payments for the next 2 years. Now, according to the Pittsburgh mayor, the city will start making the payments later this year. Assuming they get the full payments for the full 24 months, those would equal $12,000. Next one up is Columbia. There is a similar program in Columbia, South Carolina for dads in need. In June of 2021, 100 low-income fathers in Columbia got debit cards worth $500, and they will continue to get those payments for another 11 months. Next up is Chicago. The Windy City will be offering UBI programs as well to low-income households. Qualifying families earning less than $35,000 each year will get $500 in monthly payments, and the payments will impact 5,000 families in Chicago and will be paid for in part using funds from the American Rescue Act. And as we mentioned before, that was that stimulus package back in March of 2021. $350 billion was allocated to go out to cities, states, and counties. And finally, we're now seeing programs like this where they're taking those funds, passing their own stimulus packages, and in many cases, their own checks. Now, which was signed into law back in March by President Joe Biden, as we just mentioned. Next up, Los Angeles. LA also recently announced a UBI program to low-income workers. A total of 3,200 families will get $1,000 in monthly installments for a year. Eligible families have incomes that sit at or below the federal poverty line at $26,200 for a 4-person family will be eligible for this stimulus payment. Now, New Orleans. Teens in New Orleans, Louisiana will start getting $350 monthly in payments as a part of the state's financial literacy program. The first set of payments went out in December and will reoccur for 10 more months. Now, to qualify, you must be between the ages of 16 and 24, either unemployed or not in school. So right now that is in New Orleans, going out to young people. Newark, thanks to Newark, New Jersey, expanding the Guaranteed Income Pilot Program, 400 residents will now get payments for 2 years, and the payments totaling $12,000 over 2 years will be given out in 2 ways. Half of those participants in the program will get $250 bi-weekly, and while the remaining 50% will get 2 payments of $3,000 each year, according to a statement by the city. The residents in the program were selected after applying via an online portal, which was done in partnership with the University of Pennsylvania Center of Guaranteed Income Research. Now, the residents were selected based on the following requirements. They must be at least 18 years of age, must possess an income at or below 200% of the federal poverty line, and must be adversely impacted by the pandemic. Rochester. The Rochester Council has approved a 2-year pilot program. The program aims to provide $500 payments to 175 low-income families, Rochester, New York families, for the first 12 months. Then in the following year, a different set of 175 families, Rochester, New York families, would get $500 monthly payments. The payments would go out to households at or below 200% below the federal poverty level. Incoming mayor Evans has backed the program, but he wants to explore something using private or philanthropic funds, meaning the payments to families could be even larger. Wow. Keep an eye out for that one. Durham. Soon, 115 Durham, North Carolina residents that were incarcerated will be chosen for the city's Excel pilot program, which will send $500 payments a month for a year. Most of the funds for the $700,000 pilot program will be provided by Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey. Eligible participants must be at least 18 years or older. While there's no work requirement, if you earn an income, it must not exceed 60% of the area's median income. Also, incarceration must have taken place within the last 5 years, and the program will begin in 2022 and continue through January of 2023. You can see if you are eligible by filling out the pre-screening form. Next up is California. It's also worth including California's stimulus package. The California Franchise Tax Board expects to issue roughly 9 million payments under the Golden State Stimulus 2 program. The state's public affairs office told The Sun that it will send another 794,000 checks worth more than $568 million between now and the end of the year. Now, while it's unclear if the direct payments will continue beyond the second round, California is estimated to have $31 in surplus funds next year. Estimated to have 31. I'm not sure if that is a typo or not. I think it is. This could signal more stimulus payments to Californians in 2022. Yeah, that's got to be a typo. $31. So you guys, as you can see in this article, there are new programs coming out. Some of them were actually existing programs, but we're seeing a lot of these starting to pop up, new ones, because finally states, cities, and counties, they're starting to take that American Rescue Funds money and they're starting to pass their own packages and their own checks. And as these pop up, I will let you know here on the channel so that way you know what's available to you and if you're going to be eligible or not. So thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, I'll keep you up to date. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash the like button, helps out a ton. If you haven't seen the new video on the new channel, go check it out when you get a chance. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the comments down below. Also, if you want to stay up to date, hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. By far the best way to get a hold of me, you guys. And with that being said, I hope that you and your family have a blessed Sunday. Take care. God bless. I will catch you in the next one. This is Steve.